Hello, everyone. Merry Meet. A happy Wednesday. I hope everyone is doing well and you're starting to feel more yourself, or maybe even a better version of yourself. We just came through quite a season of. Oh, there's Hufflepuff, my kitty. Hi, Huffle. Huffle, you want to say hi? She's too busy. Anyway, we just came from a season of lunar eclipse and solar eclipse, and that really has changed quite a bit for us. I know if some of you feel like you identify as an empath or with some of the clairs, you probably felt a lot of different energy coming in, and I'm coming out of that myself personally on a flip side, and I feel a little more rejuvenated, more myself, a little more grounded. Um, and so I really like taken the lessons from that time period and kind of incorporated it into now. And so I hope that's the same for you, all of you. You are feeling like you kind of went through some things, maybe even emotionally, energetically, and now you can kind of come out of it. And so that kind of brought up a subject during my process, and um, during my process, I was really identifying with a planet called Saturn. And what Saturn is usually is the planet of karma. That was something that came up a lot during a lot of the eclipse season for myself. And when I was really starting to figure out where I can help certain people in my career as a psychic reader, a lot of it came up with a word called karma, which is something I was very surprised about because um, karma is associated a lot with punishment and just awards, so some would say. Um, Usually, if in our culture, karma is something that is being seen as something very negative, and as punishment, as you know, um, kind of cheeky in a way. If someone does something bad, and then they go through a hard time, um, I think we all feel a little bit of this at some point of like, huh, you got what you deserved, kind of that feeling. But in my experience, and being a person who um, does karmic readings and who has dealt with the energy of karma, it really is not that. And I wanted to kind of bring into that subject today of karma being not about punishment, but I always saw it as karma as being lessons. And earlier this week, I saw a video from Bashnar, I believe I was saying his name right. He is a channeler, and he brought up the subject of karma. And he was going along a little bit about the same lines, but I felt it was kind of interesting where even me being who I am, I'm still sometimes learn new things about the subject, different subjects or more in depth. And he said that karma is actually about action. And so when you take action against not, this is Boshnar's channel message, when you take action against not something that's in line with who you really are, you you face actions of that, or even, I guess, justice would be another word for it. And so I thought that was very interesting, as I am an advocate and I work with my clients about showing up for being the best version of themselves. I think it's very important that we kind of touch bases on karma and kind of come back to it. And this is very much the basis of my work, which is also working with past lives. Sometimes a lot of the choices we affect our karma today are from past choices, even past life choices. And sometimes that's where we are in lessons of. So it's really interesting too. Like, I was feeling a lot of that, we do sometimes feel a lot of the effects of our past choices, the actions of our past actions, and sometimes where that sometimes aligns perfectly with who we are, and then we experience a lot of good things, or out of alignment, which I loved how Vishnar really talked about that, and how that kind of takes us into lessons. So overall, I think there is really no such thing as bad karma or good karma. It's also just really coming in with lessons, because I am a firm believer that it's all for your own good. And I know that's hard to believe sometimes, but all these lessons that we go through in our lifetime helps build us up, helps us either redirect us into the alignment where we want to be the best versions of ourselves, or we're already there in alignment, and it just kind of helps with the level up, the glow up. And so I think it's something just to really think about. And so I have some questions for you that you can kind of take in with this effect, and how you can kind of redirect if you're going through, if you're really sensitive to your actions of the past, and you're very aware of your actions, and maybe even a little bit afraid to take actions because you're in that point where you just don't know if it'll be good for you or bad for you. Maybe take some time for yourself today and do some reflecting. This is really how I think, as a process of becoming the best version and being in alignment with the best versions of ourselves, it's really some deep self-reflection, because that is our treasure. That's our source. So if you're going through some moments, maybe you can even take it where, if it's a little bit of a challenge, because maybe just kind of take some time there and really ask yourself, what is a lesson I'm learning from this? What can I take from this? How will this make me smarter, wiser for future choices and future actions in the past, and help me be the best? And if things are going really well for you at this time, what can you take for that? What can gratitude you can take from that? What moments of pride and accomplishment can you take, and how to take that forward into future decisions and actions in your life? So anyway, that's a little bit of something I was thinking about and channeling today. And before we go, I am going to use some cards. So let's see what else we can get here. Just a little channel message. Spirit may want to chime in. I'm really loving outdoors right now. I hope you, wherever you're at, you have a chance to be outside for a little while. I love hearing everyone doing yard work right now, because it's kind of letting go of winter and prepping our spaces and our minds for, something really good. For the warmer months of spring, definitely the beginning of summer, and that growth season, and eventually going into harvest season. I mean, that's pretty cool. I love the seasons, if you can't tell. All right, let's get one more shuffle, and then I am going to take my cards out. There's a little channel message about karma, or the karma you may be experiencing right now. So, there we go. All right. Okay, so we have the Seven of Swords. And it says, are your actions really selfless as you think? All right, there we go. So maybe that's a little bit of the karma, the lessons that you are dealing with at this time. As you can see, there's this lady who is squashing shoes. And so I think this is a very common lesson that a lot of my clients have dealt with, and I have dealt with too at certain points in my life, is like we're not as honest with ourselves and or the people around us, and so that kind of has effect, where things kind of come up a lot and in different ways and different forms. So I guess this is something like to remind yourself is always be honest with yourself. Take a good look in the mirror and really think about when you're taking action. Is this hurting you, hurting someone else? And if that's, because ultimately that's kind of what is coming through. So it's also coming through as, is it really for your best good? Sometimes we can make choices that we seem like is really good for us, but sometimes it really is not. And how do we align back with, something that's really true? Again, your actions, are they really as selfless as you think? Are there hidden motives? We have the Queen of Cups here. I love this. So, honoring your emotions is one of the highest forms of self-care. So, when it's ever taking action, pausing for a moment, and we're also talking about self-evaluating. Listen to your emotion. Is there even just a bit of hesitation, a bit of something that, there's a saying, if this is a hell yes or a hell no. Or no, it's more like, if it's not a hell yes, then it's definitely a hell no. So really honoring those, because when I'm tuning into this card, it's really coming here with the gut and the gut emotion, the gut feeling. Are we honoring that? And that's also very much like a chakra. Like if we're talking about the Queen of Cups here, the chakra for the Queen of Cups is like this area right here, the belly, the belly area, and so that's where a lot of the emotions come through. So this is a lesson. This is the karma. Maybe in the past or maybe in the present, we're not really truly honoring our emotions, and it's not. We're making decisions that maybe it's more with ego in the brain, thinking, oh, well, it's good for everyone, but really it isn't. So coming back into our emotional intelligence and really listening to our gut and seeing where does that really come aligned with. All right, so that's a little bit of the channel message I have for you, and a little bit of more information and point of view as being someone who specializes in karma and dharma. Something to kind of look into and think about in all aspects of your life. That way you can be the best version, the main character of your life. So, because that's what we're ultimately looking at, So, bye for now. That's what I have for all of you. Take care.